In tonight's headlines, a 3-year-old girl dies after being hit by a tram in Kennedy Town. Her grandfather and elder sister are also injured in the crash. Thousands of people flocked to the annual food expo in Wan Chai on the first day, taking advantage of big discounts. And the World Health Organization declares an international health emergency after an outbreak of monkeypox in parts of Central Africa.
In a shocking accident, a 3-year-old girl died after being hit by a tram in Kennedy Town this morning. The girl's 66-year-old grandfather and 6-year-old sister were injured in the incident. The crash occurred around 10:45 a.m. near the Kennedy Town swimming pool when the trio, along with their domestic helper, were crossing the road. Allegedly, the traffic light for pedestrians was red when they tried to cross over. The younger child and her grandfather were trapped under the tram and were freed by emergency personnel. Police said the 3-year-old was unconscious when she was rescued, while the elder girl also suffered injuries to her head and was bleeding. Along with their injured helper, all three were rushed to Queen Mary Hospital in Pok Fulam, where the younger girl was pronounced dead. The tram captain was taken by police for questioning and later suspended from work.
電車司機會比較喺呢個位置疏忽。
A resident expressed concern that the tram driver may have been negligent and may have not noticed the traffic lights. The cause of the incident is under investigation. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Bargain hunters from across the city, joined by visitors from the mainland, flocked to the Convention and Exhibition Center in Wan Chai as the annual Food Expo kicked off today, offering a buffet of culinary delights and an array of $1 bargains. Many people had lined up outside the venue from 7 a.m. this morning to get their hands on some heavily discounted products. And as soon as the gates opened at 10 a.m., many stores were flooded with people. One store operated by Anki, selling dried seafood, was a big attraction. Those who took part in a game at the stall could get 500 cans of abalone if they won. 9 lucky winners landed the prize. Mr. Low, who was one of them, said he would share the prize with his teammates and his family. This visitor said products here are cheaper compared with those sold in shops outside, and they often come with freebies. This exhibitor said it was more crowded than last year, assuming most people visiting the fair were from within the SAR. Organized by the Hong Kong Trade Development Council, the expo is not just about food. It also features other fairs, including Hong Kong International Tea Fair, Home Delights Expo, and Beauty and Wellness Expo. Nearly 1,800 exhibitors from 26 countries are showcasing a wide range of delicacies and products. The fair ends on Monday, August 19th, and the price of entry tickets varies from $10 to $40, depending on the time of the day. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
Police have arrested a 41-year-old woman for animal cruelty after rescuing over 30 cats from a public housing unit in Tai Po. Officers were alerted early this morning by residents living on the 23rd floor of Xinlun House in Fuxing Estate after reports of a strong stench from one of the apartments. Firefighters broke open the door of the flat and found 33 cats and 1 dog inside. 1 cat was already dead when officers entered the unit. Staff from the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals also arrived at the scene and took 5 cats who were in poor health. Police are trying to contact the homeowner to assist in the investigation. The flat was vacant and the woman who was arrested is believed to be a tenant. The remaining animals were handed over to the Agriculture, Fisheries and Conservation Department for processing.
Hong Hong Kong's population has gone up by 0.1% to a little over 7.53 million in the first 6 months of this year. Revealing the figures today, a government spokesperson attributed the increase to new arrivals from the mainland and overseas through talent attraction and labor importation schemes. Over 44,000 one-way permit holders entered the city over a 12-month period, while 52,400 people died. 34,400 births were registered in the city.
The Democratic Republic of Congo is hard hit by the latest outbreak of monkeypox, with the dangerous new strain of the virus spreading quickly, with children being particularly vulnerable. More than 14,000 monkeypox cases and 524 deaths were recorded in the Central African country so far this year. Infections are rising and the virus has spread to neighboring Rwanda and Uganda. Following a public health emergency declared by the African Union's health watchdog earlier this week, the World Health Organization declared monkeypox a public health emergency of international concern, which is the WHO's highest alert level. The health body warned that the potential for further spread of the new variant of the virus within Africa and beyond is very worrying.
WHO is committed in the days and weeks ahead to coordinate the global response, working closely with each of the affected countries and leveraging our on-the-ground presence to prevent transmission, treat those infected, and save lives.
Health officials believe the outbreak in Africa is the tip of the iceberg, and reality on the ground could be much more severe than expected. This is the second time in 2 years that the WHO has declared monkeypox a global health emergency. The virus spreads through close contact and has flu-like symptoms, causing skin lesions. Few countries in Africa have the monkeypox vaccine. The WHO has released $1.5 million from its contingency fund and plans to allocate more, while the European Union will donate over 210,000 vaccine doses to Africa. Anna Chan, Cable News. As Ukrainian forces advance further into Russia's Kursk region, a Ukrainian news channel released a video purportedly showing soldiers taking down Russian flags from a building. Ukrainian troops were seen handing humanitarian aid to local residents in the town of Sucha, which is about 10 kilometers inside Russian territory. Kyiv said they have full control over the town, a claim which Moscow has denied. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the advance in the Kursk region is going well and reaching its strategic goal. He also claimed that Ukrainian forces conducted their biggest attack on Russian military airfields yesterday. Satellite imagery showed 2 hangars at an airbase in Borisovlivsk had been struck, with a field of debris around it. 2 fighter aircraft also appeared damaged. Kyiv has already claimed to have taken control over some 1,000 square kilometers of Russian territory and capturing more than 100 Russian soldiers. Observing a minute of silence at noon today, Japan marked the 79th anniversary of its surrender in World War II. Over 4,000 people, including family members of the war dead, attended the annual memorial ceremony in Tokyo, held without COVID-related restrictions for the first time in 5 years. Mourning over 3 million Japanese troops and civilians killed in the war, Emperor Naruhito said that with deep remorse, he earnestly hopes that the ravages of war will never again be repeated. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida did not mention Japan's wartime aggression in Asia, instead emphasized efforts to maintain a free and open international order based on the rule of law. Meanwhile, 3 of his cabinet members visited the controversial Yasukuni Shrine in Tokyo on this day, including Defense Minister Minoru Kihara, marking the first visit by an incumbent defense minister on this significant day since 2007. Crowds of people queued under scorching heat to pay respects at Yasukuni, which honors those who died in service of Japan, But the site is controversial as it also commemorates the heroic deeds of convicted Japanese war criminals from World War II. Kishida himself has refrained from visiting the shrine in person since taking office, but has sent a ritual offering every year. Anna Chen, Cable News.
China's economy rebounded in some sectors and is expected to grow at an annual rate of roughly 5%, as growth momentum failed to pick up as per expectations. Retail sales were up 2.7% year-on-year, edging the forecast of 2.6%. Industrial output, a key gauge to determine manufacturing activity, rose 5.1%. But it was 0.2% lower when compared with the 5.3% increase in June, slowing down for a third straight month. Fixed asset investment climbed 3.6% in the first 7 months of the year, lower than the forecast of 3.9%. A prolonged real estate crisis has restricted growth in the sector, with investment in property declining 10.2% year-on-year in the first 7 months of 2024. On a monthly basis, investment in fixed assets decreased by 0.17% in July. The overall urban unemployment rate averaged 5.1% in the first 7 months of the year, down 0.2 percentage points from the same period a year earlier. In July, the urban unemployment rate stood at 5.2%, up 0.2% from the same period of last year. New graduates entering the job market could be a contributing factor to the small rise.
总的来看，7月份经济运行总体平稳，稳中有。
Liu Aihua, spokeswoman for the National Bureau of Statistics, said the economy was generally stable, with steady progress focusing on high-quality development. Weak domestic demand and trade frictions are leading to an unbalanced economic recovery. However, Beijing has made its intentions clear to support a broader economic recovery across all sectors and segments of society in the long term. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.